Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading for Capricorn for the week of September 28th through October 4th. Try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Capricorn, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Princess of Pentacles. You're a very resourceful person right now. I feel as if you are you're sort of involved in something right now that you're trying to bring out the best qualities of something. You're trying to refurbish something, or you're trying to upcycle something in your life. I feel that for some of you, there is has been an investment in something, and you're wondering if it's going to actually have a return. Okay. For some of you, I feel like this card is saying that you're waiting for something to arrive. Okay, the Princess of Pentacles, to me, sort of shows like the dead of winter. All the verdant energy is gone. It's sort of dry, barren, sterile. We're waiting for life. We're waiting for life to spring forth, right? And so to me, it kind of feels like you've put your quarter in the machine, and now you're just like waiting for something to pop out the other side. It's like, okay, any minute now, you know? And so I feel like it's kind of it's almost a message from Spirit that says, you know, what you've invested in is going to pay off. Just be patient, okay? And maybe you're saying, well, I've been patient enough, you know. I think that the harvest is coming, and I think that maybe this is because of your patience, because of your perseverance, because you've been there tending to the garden even when it hasn't been producing any fruit. I feel like that is really kind of a karmic reward that's going to come in. I think that your hard work is going to pay off. That what you've been investing in is going to have a return. Maybe you've renovated a house, now you're trying to sell it. Maybe it's a car, right? Maybe it's literally like a garden or something that you've been growing, yeah. Maybe it's literally something financial, but I feel like you've made the investment and now you're waiting for the return. Okay, it's coming, yeah. Let's keep going with our cards here. Next card we have is the High Priestess. I think a lot of you are going to be experiencing more psychic activity this week. It feels there's a divine guidance at play here. There's a certain trust that you're being asked to have in the universe. I feel that you're going to have more visions, more dreams, vivid dreams, yeah? More intuitive hits, more nudges from the universe. Sometimes the High Priestess is that card that says, take my hand, trust me. Trust me that I'm leading you in the right direction. Then you take these two cards together, and I feel like the High Priestess is saying, take my hand, we're getting out of here. It's going to be okay, right? So I feel like she's trying to lead you to abundance. Yeah. And so rather than getting upset, getting scared, getting nervous and worried and doing something else, kind of trust in the situation. Trust that you've been guided here for a reason, and trust that this is exactly where you're supposed to be, and that your intuition is leading you forward to where you're going next. Okay? The High Priestess is always trying to lead you to your best life, okay, and is asking for your faith, your hope, and your trust. So I feel like your intuition is really going to take a kind of driving position in your life this week, okay? Spirit's telling you to trust more in that intuition than in your own thoughts and concerns, your own fears and worries. No, trust in your gut, trust in your intuition. And I feel like your intuition is saying, what you're looking for is coming. What we've invested in is going to pay off. It's just, to sort of stick with it is the energy. Yeah? All right. Next card you have is a Knight of Swords. This is down beneath the surface. This seems to me like a lot of you have kind of started something without knowing the full plan, right? The Knight of Swords to me jumps into something with only like half a plan or like half an idea. Yeah, hasn't always thought it through. Doesn't know all the steps that need to take place, but just kind of has leapt into something with an incomplete understanding of it, without all the knowledge. So it's like you're not an expert at it, but you're kind of learning as you go. Okay, and I think that is that can be very scary, but I think it's also shows a lot of courage, shows a lot of boldness. Okay. So whatever you're doing in your life right now, whether it's at home, at work, at school, maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a business, I feel that you sort of took a chance on yourself, and you did take a chance with your intuition. You said, I'm just going to go for it. And, I don't know how it's going to turn out. I don't really know my way around this forest, but I'm gonna jump in, and I'm going to see what I can make of it. Yeah. And I feel like this is that kind of a decision-making for you where it's not so logical. And I think it is because, your intuition sort of guided you here. And so it's okay that you don't have the entire plan. It's okay that you don't know what you're doing exactly. I feel like a lot of you are beginning or have already began something new, something that you... like a skill or a hobby or kind of an investment or something that you don't have a lot of past experience about. Yeah. Next card for you, 9 of Pentacles. This is a road of success, okay? This is a road that you're on where you will know the progress when you see it. This is the visible sign of progress. I think it's kind of it's a harvest that's coming in, for sure. It is saying that there is... there is going to be some indication, a very measurable indication of your success. It's something that you can count. It's something that you can see or witness or hold in your hand, okay? Speaking of that, let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right here with Mr. Tao, the yin-yang duck. So we'll look at that card later, okay, and see how it ties all this together. The 9 of Pentacles, though, like I said, is the visible sign of progress. It's something tangible that you'll be able to hold in your hand, okay? And so I think that whatever you're doing now, there's going to be an obvious, your success is going to be obvious. If it worked, you'll know. If it didn't work, you'll know, okay? I think a lot of you are going to receive... It seems like it's a financial thing. I almost feel like it's something from a relative. I don't know if it's some kind of someone's investing in you or something like that, or if it's some kind of an inheritance or something. But I feel there's a decent sum of money that either has already made its way to you or is now on its way to you, okay? This is the card of... sort of walking that path, living the successful life. Okay, I think that you're making a lot of progress toward your goals. Yeah, and I think that if you were to look at the past, I think that you would say you have come a long way already. Yeah. And so with this card in this position, I feel like Spirit's trying to remind you, look, you've already done a lot. You've already made so much progress in your life. It's okay that right now feels like a little bit of uncertainty. It's Spirit saying just got to trust your intuition here. It's okay that that things, may have felt like they have stalled or that you've been waiting for something. And I do feel like we're kind of now, we've made some progress. Now we're waiting for the next, signal. We're waiting for the next, green light or something, yeah? Let's keep going. There's the 6 of Swords. I feel that you're very good at making plans, yeah? It's kind of a contrast to our Knight of Swords that sort of leaps without a plan, right? Because I feel that usually in your life, you tend to have pretty good directions. You like to operate from a recipe or from the driving direction. You like to have your GPS up. And so I feel that right now there's this kind of impulse that from spirit and from that intuition that's just saying, you kind of got to go against that logical, organized, planning mind of yours and trust that intuition. Okay. The Six of Swords is exactly that. It's the blueprint. It's the organized mind. It's the knowledge base, you know. And so it's in contrast with this card, because this card is saying, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it anyway. This is the card that says, I like to know what I'm doing before I do it. And so I feel that there's that kind of there's the kind of a split for you right now. This is also the card, I think, of putting some distance between you and a bad thing. Okay? Sometimes this is kind of like we've journeyed away from something that wasn't so pleasant in life. So I think a lot of you are finally kind of like getting out of some sort of woods, getting out of some bad waters, putting some distance between you and either that job or that financial difficulty, or it was an injury or an illness, or it was a bad relationship. I feel like you're kind of like, you're starting to realize like, okay, I think I'm just about out of the woods. Yeah. Next card. There's the Eon card. Judgment, rebirth, reawakening, a baptism by fire. Okay. I think that this is a doorway to a new future. I think that for a lot of you, this is going to be a financial thing. I think that your intuition is telling you that, look, what you're looking for here is going to be here. This is going to pay off. Yeah, because you're being told not to change course. Yeah, but to continue writing out this investment. Okay, which again, I think went against your logical mind, whatever this, if this is that new job or something at university, a new skill you're trying to learn, if it's a new relationship, it's something that you just kind of leaped into without having all the information. I think it really is going to pay off. This is a doorway to a new universe for you. I feel like this is your life changing big time. Okay, big time here. Let's put the rest of our cards out. We have a Nine of Swords, we have a Two of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, and we have a Queen of Cups. The Nine of Swords is that despair. It is that pain of separation. Okay, it's starting to get worrisome that we're not, that we haven't received the payoff, that what we've been waiting for isn't there yet. So it makes sense that you might be entertaining ideas of abandoning that investment, of writing it off as a loss. Okay, I think Spirit is trying to tell you that the doorway is a lot closer than you think. Yeah. This is a wealth multiplier, right? Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Swords is a misery multiplier. And so the mind has this tendency to sort of catastrophize, right? And I think if you were to look at this Nine of Pentacles and you can say, look, this has already worked out a lot better than it could have. We've already made a lot of progress. And just because things have slowed down now, or now we're sort of at that crossroads where it's like, I don't know what to do, it doesn't mean that we need to despair. Okay? So that I think that Nine of Swords is like this tendency to sort of exacerbate the problem. Okay, so I kind of feel like it's Spirit's way of saying, just don't worry about it. Trust in the universe that this is still the right path for you. Okay. The Nine of Swords can be a lot of self-criticism. It can be a lot of self-doubt. It can be anxiety. Okay, and it's in the position of your general energies. So it would seem that it's kind of like we're getting anxious for this thing to come through. We're getting very nervous that we've been waiting and it's not coming. Okay, but I think that it is. I think your life is about to change. In the next position, Two of Pentacles, that is the card of harmonious change. And so the feelings now, Seven of Cups too, the feeling that you might be stuck, the feeling that, this was the wrong investment, or I shouldn't have put my energy into this, or my time, my effort, my money, my space, I shouldn't have given it to this. I think that is all changing. Okay, I think that your life is, there's a kind of a turnaround. I think that you're going to be experiencing a lot more of the positive confirmations that this was the right move. Okay, so be on the lookout for things, like pay attention to your environment, because I think a lot of things are going to tell you that, look, you are on the right road. Okay, and look for those visible signs of progress. Look for those, if this is a financial thing, right? You're going to see that, you know, the income is coming in, the bills are getting paid, the investment is starting to sort of build on itself, and there's a return happening. Okay. The Seven of Cups is an interesting card, especially in this position, because it's kind of like red flags, you know. And I think that with these two cards together, it's kind of like we're starting to question whether or not we've missed the red flags, or we're starting to kind of see red flags where there aren't any. And I think that's, again, part of this intuitive energy of this, the High Priestess here, that's saying just trust in this position. And this horizontal path is, I mean, this is it, right? You're traveling this road, and right now we might feel a little bit lost or a little bit like uncertain if this is where the gold is. Spirit's saying that magical door is going to appear. But we might really be getting into our thoughts and feelings here with of course, the cups and the swords, right? Getting into our thoughts and feelings and starting to doubt our intuition and start to think, well, maybe I missed something along the way. Okay. The Seven of Cups is, it very often masquerades as something quite nice in our life, right? That we start to think that, well, maybe I got my hopes up for something, and it really isn't what I thought it was. You know, something that's too good to be true usually isn't, yeah. But see, this is in the position of your fear, worry, and concern. So I feel like that's the fear. The fear is that we miss something. The fear is that we put all of our eggs in one basket, and it was the wrong basket. Okay. I think everything is going to be clarified for you very soon with our Queen of Cups there at the end. That's a card of emotional intelligence. It's a card of depth. It's a card of, to me, a cleansing of the emotions, you know. And so I think that it's going to be really a feeling of relief. I think that a lot of you are going to experience a kind of a flood of positivity, yeah. And whatever progress you're looking for in your life right now, I think it's gonna happen. I think it's going to happen fairly abruptly, and I think it's going to bring in a lot of emotions, especially as your heart and your mind are sort of pushing through that anxiety, pushing through that doubt. Okay, the Queen of Cups to me is kind of a card that's like, you know what it is that you want, and you're believing in this because it means something to you. And so because you're holding on to that meaning and that belief, you're able to push through all of that anxiety and doubt and worry. Okay. I want to look at the mystery card. And maybe Empress. Yeah, let's see. Oh, Emperor. That's okay too. This is that fortified ego. This is someone who, despite the worries, despite the fears, despite the anxiety, is saying, I'm sticking with it. I'm holding fast. I have confidence. It's the fortified ego, right? So we're able to resist that feeling and the thoughts, right? The more we think about it, the more we despair, and we sink down into those feelings. This is that card that's saying, I need to stick with it anyway. I'm choosing to trust in spirit, and we're sort of locking it in, okay? This is that power, I think, to do that, because I feel like right now you're kind of at the edge of like quitting, of like giving it all up. And I think Spirit's trying to tell you, look, the door that you're looking for is very, very close. Don't give up now. Stay firm. Stay committed. Stay strong. Okay. Anyway, we're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, we'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There's a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Capricorn, Tuesdays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.